Okay, we are live.
Hi,
Hi, Miss Jewel.
girl.
How are you?
Good. I'm tired, but I'm good. It's been definitely a busy season, but some bad, some good, and you just roll with it.
Oh,
Love
we
you,
we we
girl.
rolling all right. We rolling all right.
That's what I've been
Literally.
doing. Just roll it. Yes. Yes. So yeah.
So welcome. I've known you for a hot minute now.
Long time now. Yeah.
Yeah, through my daughter. I always say that she meets the best people. All of her circles are just really, really, really good people. So I appreciate you being here.
Thank
So first, let's talk about, you just said, you just keep it rolling. Let's talk about how you got into biking because this is how, I'm looking at you, you're going 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles, 50 miles. Have you gone over 50 miles yet?
you. I've done 100 miles. I did 100 miles last December. Yeah, we did a century. Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, and I'm on the fence about doing another one because that's typically my yearly goal, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it this year. It's kind of it was I'm on the fence about trying to do one before it gets too cold. But
Yeah.
these hills are kicking my butt.
So tell us about your journey to biking because is this the only sport that you've done to this extent?
It is. So I do not like sports as far as my body. So growing up, I think I tried for softball one time. I'm such a girly girl. I was like, nah, this ain't it. So I tried to run track, but me and running, we don't get along. So when I came upon cycling, so I've had a bike for years. Like I had bought this mountain bike, but it was so bulky that I only rode the trails every so often. But then you get bored riding by yourself all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
right before COVID, one of my girlfriends had done a triathlon. And so she had started riding. And so I was like, ooh, I want to ride with you. So I talked my mom and them into buy me a hybrid. I was like, okay. So every once in a blue moon, we would ride together. And I already did spin in the gym. So I knew I loved spinning. Like that's like my favorite exercise to do in the gym is spin.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so stop right there. So right now I know I'm not gonna like biking because I don't like to spin.
Really? Why?
I used to try it with my cousin who lived with me for a hot minute, and I
Mhm.
did pretty good. I got pretty good, but I don't know. It's like you're going nowhere.
You are going nowhere. Yes, I agree. But see, now cycling, you go somewhere, but spinning, yeah. But you got to have the right teacher. Like, is this one instructor at Fitness Connection? She just flat out crazy. No, really, she's crazy. And so, but her classes are so fun. She crazy, but they fun.
Right.
She'll come around and turn the resistance up on your bike, and you be looking at her like, I'm over here already struggling. You about to turn my resistance up, and then she be like, I'm punch you in the eye if you move it. Try it. So we be talking junk to each other while we spin it. It makes
Okay.
it fun, and then you dance on the bike. You just gotta have the right instructor.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had the right instruction. So you knew you wanted to try it because of your friends, right? I
Mhm.
think that's a critical point. A lot of times it is because a friend did it, right? Or a friend tried it.
Yep. Yes. And so I watched her do this triathlon that she just did amazingly. And so then we kind of just started riding together. Well, when COVID hit, all the gyms shut down. So
Yeah.
there's no more spinning. So then all of a sudden you see these bike groups being formed. And so a previous church member had started his own bike group and he would see me out riding like via Facebook. And so for about a month, he tried to get me to come and ride with his group. Took him about a month to convince me. So I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling the group thing just yet. Like I like my little solo ride over here, or, my ride with my friend. But then when I started riding with the group, all of a sudden, all of these other people that I used to go to church with started riding.
Really?
Oh my goodness. It was like a mass effect. Like You see one person riding, and then we're just all together riding. And it's like, where did all these people come from? We all started off on hybrids. Within 2 months, we had all upgraded to road bikes.
Okay.
And we realized, wow, we love this. Like, I couldn't get enough of riding. Like, I just wanted to ride every day. Like, you just don't get tired of it.
So why? So I know, like for me with hiking, I like the scenery. I like, starting at a point and ending at a point. Was it like that for you with cycling or no? Right? What do you call it? Biking?
We call it biking, cycling, riding, with all of them.
Okay.
So for me, it's like a peaceful calm. So I feel so at peace. Like, I feel like sometimes I can really hear from God on the bike. Like, it's just like you can zone out, which if you ride in the street, it is not good to zone out. And I have to be intentional about reminding myself, because I'll be zoned out. I'll be like, wait, Jewel, there's cars around you. You got to pay attention.
Yeah.
So, but like yesterday, let's talk about yesterday. So like life has just been crazy. Like, my stress level has been on 1,000. And although I have other workouts, like I hadn't ridden in 2 weeks. And so I'm trying to get to the ride yesterday, to the group ride. And there's the soccer festival thing going on uptown. So I'm in all this traffic with these soccer people. And I'm like, y'all, I'm not gonna make this ride. Like, they were supposed to leave at 6:30. It's 6:30. I'm still in traffic. 5 minutes from them, that took me 15 minutes to get to them. They was like, no, we're gonna wait. And they waited for me. And it was the best thing that I could have done for myself yesterday, was to get on the bike, because I got on the bike full of stress, irritated with this traffic. But by the time I got off the bike, I was at such a peace. It was like, I needed this today. I needed this ride to just calm me down and bring me back. Like, it's just so peaceful for me.
Right.
Like, I don't even have to talk to them. Like, I just want to ride.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah, let me have my music. Let me just pedal away and just ride.
Yeah. I feel the same way about hiking. Just talk about here. It's the closest. It's a beautiful thing to be that close to God, right?
It is. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Like, this is church. This is my quiet time. This is everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you would think there's so many distractions because you have the people, you have the cars, and there are distractions, but it's just like you're in this zone that it just opens you up to hear his voice.
Yeah. So speaking of that, what has he said then?
Girl, I'll tell you. Because he be co-signing on some things that my friends be speaking over me. I'm like, I need y'all to stop speaking stuff over me. Like, you just stop it. So one thing I've been doing lately is studying for the GRE to go back and get my master's in mental health counseling.
Well, honey, that make perfect sense.
No.
Yes, it does.
Girl, bye. Jewel won't try to go back to nobody's school. Do you hear me? Girl.
Oh, you're good at that. You're natural at that.
Thank you. But Jewel was not trying to go back to nobody's school. Okay.
Right.
And now I'm studying for this stupid test. It is stupid. I was like, who knows words like this? We don't do this stuff in the real world. And you're gonna make me take this test?
Right.
Girl. I had to tell her, don't speak nothing else over me. He just keeps co-signing. Don't you speak nothing. When I was so adamant about not going back to school, like, I love my career. I'm totally planning for retirement. Like, school was just not in the cards for me. I have my health coach certification. That's as close as it got to school for me.
Right.
Now I have my health coaching practice. And so when one of my girlfriends spoke over me, it was two of them really, and they was like, oh yeah, we think you would be really good at that. And the Lord was like, yeah, I do too. I think you should go ahead and go back. What? No, wait, no.
But it makes sense. And it is a great transition too.
Yeah. School. 3 years of school. 3 years of I might not be able to ride. That's the first thing I thought.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord, I ain't gonna be able to ride Harley because I'm gonna be in his study. Girl, that's I don't even care about the trips. I ain't gonna be able to hardly ride no more. For 3 years.
You'll figure it out. You'll find your pace, right?
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
And this whole study thing, we're trying to have a full-time job. Like, I'm in a prep course right now for the GRE. You know how many days I've studied this week? One day this week I've studied. So I'm struggling to find that balance of I want to have fun, I want to ride, but I need to study. And so I recognize like, okay, Jewel, you're going to have to reel it in a little bit more because for some reason the fall picked up with activities when I thought it was going to slow down. I was like, oh, I'm going to have all this study time. No. Like my weekends have been jam-packed and then I've had stuff going on during the week. And so one thing my therapist, because I have a therapist that I see.
I do too.
Yes. Very, very necessary. Okay. Very necessary. Yes. She was like, find hours that really work for you with studying. Well, I'm not a morning person and I'm definitely not a night person. But during the day, that's work hours. I was like, that's not. So I'm going to have to become either a morning person or a night person. And it's probably going to be more of a morning person. Get in some hours before work. But then where do my workouts fall? Because I work out in the mornings.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. And the workouts, that's a non-negotiable. That cannot stop. I can give up cycling and cycle on the weekends. I cannot give up my weekly workouts.
Yeah, now what are you doing with your weekly workouts? Because I'm thinking your cycling is your workout.
No, so the thing with cycling is I'm like the only one that doesn't lose weight when they cycle. I actually gain.
Muscle, right?
Yes. However, I don't be liking them numbers on the scale. So, and these thighs, like I got thunder thighs right now from cycling. So my size 8s are like, oh, we struggling to get over them thighs. What's happening?
Listen, them thighs are tight though. They full of muscle, them calves, honey. Girl. Listen, ain't nothing like some good thunder thighs.
You tell my parents that's like, we think you about to go back up to a size 10. No, we're not. We go get these thighs now. So I just started doing rock box fitness. I love kickboxing. Oh my gosh. Yes. So because my body does not really respond to a full HIIT workout, I decided to try rock box fitness. So the first half of the class is kickboxing, which I absolutely love. And then like the last 15 to 20 minutes is a HIIT workout. So they'll do upper body, lower body, and then they do an agility speed circuit. So I've been doing that 2 days a week. And then I'll go to Fitness Connection and do 1 day of strength training or walking on the treadmill. And then 2 days a week of cycling right now.
Okay.
More like 1 day right now, actually, but I'll get into this week.
But it pretty much takes up your whole week.
It does. And I tried, the only thing I'll do typically in the evenings is either I'll do body pump at Fitness Connection or I'll cycle. Most of my workouts are in the morning though.
Mm-hmm. So what time do you usually get up in the morning? What time are you working out?
By 6:30.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I start work between 8 and 9.
Okay.
So something's going to have to give when I start school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it will. It'll take a minute because, I'm back in the classroom and it's taking a minute because I was thinking today, like, when is it gonna, like, when will I see the end? Like, I can't even see the end of all this work I have to do. Once I finish something, it's something else. So
always.
But yeah. I told them, you know what, I'm about to drop some balls. I'm about to drop some balls and I'm gonna leave them there and I'm gonna walk away.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I'm going to give up a lot of my weekends to make sure I'm getting the work done. And I heard it's a lot of papers. So.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. That's what I hear. There's not a lot of tests, but there are a lot of papers.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was getting my master's, it was a paper. I don't know, it might have been 2 papers a week or something, but it was just
You say 2 papers a
reading
week?
and papers, huh?
2 papers a week?
Yeah, it was papers. It was just papers and reading and papers and reading and good feedback. I mean, the thing about it is, it'll it's good content because you'll like it. Like I like the content. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was that hard. It was just I got another paper to write and I just wrote one and I got another one. So
Okay.
yeah. So but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So let's get back to the cycling and the 100 miles.
Yes.
Because when I think of 100 miles, I'm thinking like to me that's like past Kilimanjaro. It's like I just can't wrap my head around that. And it's so amazing that I really are rooting on everybody that is in their space doing what they love and doing it at such a high capacity, high level. I just love it. And I was like, I gotta get you on here to talk about these miles. Like, how are you managing? Are you stopping? You're stopping,
Girl.
right?
Oh my goodness, we took so many breaks. Now, most people don't take as many breaks as we take.
Okay.
So we did it last December. So granted, I hadn't even been riding a year yet. And it was me that got all these. I was the only female out here with like 5 other men. I was like, y'all, let's do this 100 miles. Let's just do it. One of my friends wanted to do it by his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to get some of the ladies because we did it in Raleigh. So the trail was mostly flat. But the first like 35 miles were like rolling hills. So we decided, like you decide how often are you going to take a break. So I think we took a break like every 20 miles or so.
Okay.
Yeah. So we always made like the main stopping point our car because we had our lunch in our car. We could refill our water bottles, like because you have to have snacks, you have to have food. Like
Yeah.
I had to prepare at least 3 days before with food for this 100 miles. So you have to carb up because carbs give you your energy.
Yeah.
So girl, I was tearing up peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The only time I eat peanut butter and jelly. I had about 2 or 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with me. I made these little oatmeal peanut butter balls, which were amazing. And then I ride with amino acids and I ride with electrolytes as well. So you had to make sure.
Did you say something about stopping at your car? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Our
car. Yeah, we was in a parking lot. So we went to the Neuse River Trail in Raleigh. Amazing trail. So, you park in this space and then you get out on the trail and you ride. And so like our halfway point was our car. And so we went and we did our first 30 miles. We took several breaks throughout there. So you keep your snacks on you. So your bike kits, you have back pockets to put everything in.
Okay.
And so our first 35 miles, we would just take mini stops to, fuel up or whatever. And then our halfway point back almost was our car. So we stopped at our car, we had lunch, and then we kept it moving.
But I'm still confused. So you start and you just like go around and come back to your car? You're coming back to your car?
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
You would have got in the car and been gone.
Whenever we do a hike, if we circle back and I see the car in my vicinity, honey, I'm going to the car. I'm done. It's over. I have to walk away. Whenever.
Yeah. I'm sure we felt like that. I'm sure we was like, yeah, can we go home? But then I was the one who pushed us to do it, so I couldn't be that what.
Wow.
But by the end of the day, several of them was supposed to be out so bad because they really weren't ready to do 100 miles. They was like, Jewel, don't talk to me. I was like, It was amazing. Like, it was amazing. I felt so good.
Yeah. So how long did it take? How long does it take to do 100 miles?
Girl, it took us all day, honey. So the way, so we have this app. So the way the app calculates it is stop every time you stop. So according to the app of riding time, it took us about 7 hours. But we were actually out there with breaks probably for about between 8 and 9 hours. It was all day because we got hit with rain in the morning. So we were supposed to start at like 8:30. But then it was raining, so we let the rain subside. So we didn't start till like somewhere between 9 and 9:30. So we Finished, I want to say around 7:38.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was, it was
Once,
rough.
once I come back to the car, I would be over. I could not even talk myself into going back.
I know we had a couple of, so two ladies started off with me. One did 35 miles and then she was done, and one did 50 miles. So she did the halfway and she was like, y'all, I'm done. I'm going back to the car. And they
Right.
left. So
Right.
I ended up being the only lady that finished.
And so how many was it with you guys?
There were 6 of us. So the rest were men, and then I was only female. Yeah.
Oh. I'm still just, so let's talk about the bikes. You've mentioned a couple bikes. You mentioned like a
mountain bike, a hybrid, and a road bike.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about these bikes. And this is another thing that stops me in my tracks. I'm like, I'm not buying no $1,000 bike now.
Me. Okay, I can't say that. Okay, you're right. You say that. So let me tell you, when I first started this, people was telling me how much they were spending on bikes. I was like, give me my little $200-$300 bike over here. And you can't keep up with nobody. You like, oh, wait.
Really?
Girl, my first road bike was a 9-speed.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
So that means you don't have as many gears as somebody else with a higher cost bike. So they have this thing that's called you get dropped. Basically, they're going at a speed that you can't keep up with. And if you can't keep up, you are left. So I got dropped so many times. I didn't like getting dropped.
Wait a minute. So they would leave you?
So there are certain groups that they are drop groups, and they put it out there.
You know that going in.
Yeah, but then you don't think that they going that fast. Girl, my first 50 miler, I got dropped so bad. They were at least a good mile to 2 miles ahead of me.
Really?
I just wasn't fast.
And it was because of your bike, your gear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you did what? After being dropped, you went out and bought what kind of bike?
So I bought another used bike, but it was a better bike. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit more, they call it aerodynamic. So it was lighter. It could go a little bit faster. And so that bike, it was only $1,500. That was good. Girl, that sounds like a lot. I got some friends who have spent like $3,000 on bikes.
Really?
I know people who have spent $5,000 on bikes.
And it's because, well, it's the same way with hiking. You have to have good gear. You have to have the right gear. It's got to be, this material and that material. And it's so expensive.
I was like, why nobody ain't tell me that this sport was this expensive? What is happening? I probably have paid for a car as much as I have spent, and I'm still doing stuff to the bike. So really? I upgraded my cassette. So the cassette is your back gears. So I had an 11-speed, and so they called it a race bike. It was like you're struggling to get up the hills because you don't have a big enough cassette. And so we have a bike guy, and his prices are a little bit less than the bike stores. So we take our bikes to him. So he put a new cassette on for me a couple of weeks ago. I can feel a total difference on the hills now.
Really?
Yes. And I'm about to get a couple more things because now they have an electric gear shift changer.
Well, you like press a button?
You just press it and it changes the gears for you. You could be going up the hills. It'll change the gears for you. It'll change. Yes. And I want that. And it costs almost as much as I spent for the bike. Mm-hmm. I know.
To each his own, because I spent a lot of money going to Kilimanjaro, taking my girls.
Oh, absolutely. You did.
A lot of money. And I would do it again.
Absolutely. Because what is life if you can't do the things that you love to do? Like we waste so much money on things that don't matter. These things matter to us. Ooh. This is keeping me healthy. This is helping me maintain my weight, even though I'm not losing. Right. And it's giving you a sense of community with other people as well.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. That you're right.
Yeah. But I do be fussing.
Right.
These bike kits cost a lot too to
Yeah.
look cute
So
while you ride.
it's an investment, right?
Yes, it
It's
is.
an investment. And you gotta pay one way or the other. Either you're paying medical bills or you can spend your money like this, right?
I tell people medications cost a lot of money too.
Mhm.
Diseases cost a lot of money. Going to the doctor costs a lot of money. Wait, figure out where you want to spend your money.
Oh, that's good. Yes. Yes.
And
Because
just
it's going.
it
One way
is
or
going
another.
somewhere. Exactly. But then you also think about how many other people you're encouraging to do this. Like one of my girlfriends, she does not like the outdoors at all. At all. When I
Really?
say at all, I let her, she called me. She was like, I think I want to try and ride. I was like, really? Yes, Jewel, I think come help me. So I took her my hybrid because we're about the same height. I
Uh-huh.
took her my hybrid. Now she's not out here riding like me.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she's even, her husband told her, he was like, you're not about to buy all this bike stuff because I don't think you're going to stay with it. You don't even like the outdoors. This was several months ago. She
Mm-hmm.
is still riding today and absolutely loves it. So I
See,
told
that's the thing. Number one, you gotta have some good friends and you gotta be willing to try something new. We
yeah.
get so stuck. I'm in that age where marketers don't even market to us anymore because they're like, she just stuck in her ways, you know. But yeah, you have to be open.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you stop living. Like I'm trying to
Absolutely.
live.
That's right, girl. You
I'm
doing
trying
it
to
over there, honey. You is living. And I'm loving that new haircut. I love it. Girl.
live. Yeah, listen, I don't think I'm gonna ever go back to hair.
I was thinking about it like I got this wedding to go to in a couple of weeks. I was like, do I want to add some hair for the wedding? And the more when he told me what hair I need to get, the more I thought about that I got to get this hair. I was like, nah, I'm good. Let me just color it because it's too much work. Mm-mm.
Way too much work.
Yes.
Way too much work. So yeah, it's again good to see women out there doing what they love, and you don't know if you're gonna love it if you never try it,
That's
right?
right.
And so I told myself, you know what I said? You can't be my friend if you're not gonna try stuff.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. You got to be able to do something.
You got to try something. Now, I'm not saying you do everything I do, but you have to be open because otherwise, we ain't got nothing in common.
But that's so true because, and I've been talking to God, I was like, Lord, my friendships are changing because now I'm with people who we have more of a commonality with, and that's been hard on me because I have some really good friends, but my friends don't ride. They don't like that type of stuff.
I know. And when you get out there with those people, it's like, oh my gosh, you my people. Like,
Yeah.
and you don't have to listen, you don't have to beg them. You don't have to prod them.
Yeah.
You don't have to do any of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
They enjoy it just, and that's a beautiful thing. Again, that's another level of growth, right?
It is. Yeah. But I have to say, even in my friendship, I've seen God just move in all of us. Like they're starting businesses and everybody's walking in their purpose. Like it's just been so amazing at some of the things God has done in COVID. Like, we can look at it as there was a lot of life loss. Yes, there was some bad
Oh,
that happened, but there's been so much good that has come from it as well.
mhm.
So like sometimes I feel like we miss the good because we look at the bad so much.
Right. Yeah. COVID was, honey, it was good to me.
It was good to me too, girl. Yeah.
I made the best out of that, honey.
Mhm. I agree. Mhm. Yes.
I made the best out of it. And, again, it goes back to perspective. It goes back to who you're around. It goes back to,
Mhm.
being open. So tell us, what else have you been open to? What else is on the horizon for you?
I honestly, I think that's enough. I'm running a nonprofit. I'm running a business. I'm
Mhm.
starting school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that maybe you could hire some help maybe?
I got to be able to pay that help.
I know. Yeah.
So, eventually I will, maybe when I start school, depending on, like, as far as my health coaching business, with health coaching, clients come and clients fall off.
Mhm.
Right now, I don't feel like I have a steady flow of clients. Like, I'm picking up 3 new clients next week. And I have one consistent client. I have another one who fell off, but she's starting back in January.
Right.
And so I don't feel like that's consistent money yet because it's still being built.
Right.
So, and some of them are like, I don't want you to hire nobody because I don't want to talk to anybody else because they tell me their deep, dark secrets that they have with food. And,
Jewel, that's right. That's right. Because when you had your nonprofit and you broke out into those groups.
Right. And now my mentors are not even doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm basically running my own nonprofit, which I was trying to step back from. Mm-mm. And now I feel like the girls talk to me more than they talk to their mentors. I'm like, yeah, come on. I'm gonna have to figure that out before I start school.
Yeah.
I love it. So even though right before I get on the phone with them, I'm like, Lord, I am tired. I don't feel like talking. Like, they're so shy. They struggle to talk, but they're doing better. And I get on and they talk and we have this conversation. And I'm like, Lord, this was worth it. Like, this is why I love this.
Right. It always is worth it. Mm-hmm. But you gotta get on the call or, go to the meeting or whatever. Mm-hmm. And once you get there, and most times you're just as blessed as they are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's such a give and take, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So you're not just pouring out and not having anything, come back to you. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't get to look at your bio because
It's okay, and I sent it late too. I'm sorry.
I was like, okay, I gotta get out of this building now because I was still at school. And so what else is on there that I may have missed?
I think the only thing I talked about was travel. I talked about, me starting a health coach, that I have a health coaching business. I don't even think I put the nonprofit up there.
So tell us about the health coach and tell us about the travel.
So I started my own health coaching practice last November. So, it'll be a year. It'll be a year in a couple of weeks. So basically, I help people with their lifestyle eating changes. So, eating is a lifestyle change, eating healthy. And so many of us as African Americans struggle with that. Like, I'm learning even more being a health coach and helping people. Like, we really don't want to change our eating habits. It's almost like we would rather be sick than be healthy. Wow. I'm still trying to understand. So, when I became a health coach, I said, I really want to help us as women really become healthy. I want to help people come off of medication. I want to help people learn that just to be healthy doesn't mean food has to taste bad. Like, right. You can be healthy and still have good food and still be off of medication and still maintain your health. And so when I started my practice, my first client was my mother. Right. In 6 months, she stuck to the program to a T. In 6 months, she had lost 35 pounds.
Wow. She
came off of one of her diabetic medications and we're working on the other. She's come off of one of her blood pressure medications.
Wow.
Yes. And so, one of my girlfriends asked me when I was like, well, I don't know how many people I'm going to get. She was like, are you number building or are you kingdom building?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I said, if I only changed one person's life a year, yes. then I've done exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And I was excited that first person was my mother.
Yeah.
So because she had gained so much COVID weight. And she was like, I am determined to lose this weight.
Wow.
And to this day, she hasn't worked with me. She left me in May, I think. Mm-hmm. She maintained her weight. She has kept it off, which means I did my job of educating her. I think there are so many weight loss programs that want you to lose weight so fast that they don't educate you on how to actually eat and sustain it.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. have you worked with Bridget?
Who's Bridget?
Okay, good. I was just not good, but I was wondering because she has a program also, so I was just wondering
Oh,
if
okay.
and she teaches other coaches how
Oh,
to do her program. Yeah, yeah. So that's
okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of her. Oh,
yeah, yeah. She's amazing. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, I used to interview people who were doing amazing things and they weren't my friend and I didn't really know them. I just really admired them. But now I'm interviewing people that I know and you are
right.
doing amazing things. And that's like
Thank you.
that's huge. That's
Well,
huge.
you'll
So
have
yeah.
to introduce me to Bridget.
Oh
That
yeah,
happened.
Bridget is a triathlon, Iron Woman, honey,
Oh,
all
nice.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm always open to like advice, other people's opinion as I try and grow my practice because I don't know everything.
Right.
So, one of my business partners, oh, and I am a what they call a isotonics consultant. So I have all natural supplements, but they are isotonics, so they get into your bloodstream a little bit faster than like regular supplements do.
Mm-hmm.
And so my business partner is a licensed nutritionist. And so if there are some things that I may run into that I don't know, I'll call her and I'll be like, hey, can you help me with this? Like, I don't
Right.
know what to do. So yeah, I always say every coach needs a coach.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, so that is the health coaching. So tell them how to get in contact with you before we go into the travel. If they wanna, a health coach, learn how to eat and
Yeah. So if you want a health coach, you can reach out to me at www.tranquilityhealthcoaching.com and just sign up for a free consultation. Or
okay.
you can email me at tranquilityhealthcoaching, the number two
Wait,
at
wait, wait. I'm gonna type it in here. I gotta spell it right first. Quality
health
trans
tranquility
health
health coaching,
health coaching.
the number two.
No. This is the website.
Oh, www.tranquilityhealthcoaching.com.
Okay. .com. Got it. Okay. I think I spelled that right. Tranquility.
It's okay.
Okay, and the email is
Tranquility Health Coaching.
Tranquility Health Coaching.
The number two.
The number two,
Uh-huh. Yep.
two
At gmail.com.
gmail.com. Okay, got it. Okay, awesome. They can get in touch with you now. So now let's talk about travel.
Yes.
What made you want to travel? Where have you been and where do you want to go next?
Girl, oh my gosh. So I have been really traveling since college. So one thing my father, like growing up, my father was in the military. So one thing he always instilled in me is you want to see the world.
Yeah.
Like I want you to just go and see the world. But I never met any friends who wanted to see the world. Like you don't realize how many people don't travel until you start traveling. And so in college, I met a friend and she was like, I want to go to Europe. And so after college, we decided we're going to take ourselves to Europe.
Mhm.
And that's what we did. And my travel journey started there. So our first trip was to Paris.
Uh-huh.
Then we went to Rome. We went to Ireland, Dublin, Ireland.
Right.
I've been to Australia.
Okay.
Yes, I've been to Thailand.
Mhm.
I've been to Bali. My next big trip that I'm planning is for next May. I am going to Cartagena, Colombia. And I talked my mom and my stepdad into going as well.
Okay.
Yes. So my biggest trip, and we had it planned for last December, but then COVID hit, was the Maldives. Like that's like my ultimate trip that I want to go on is the Maldives.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
I don't even know where is that? I don't even know what that is on the map. Where is
The
that?
Pacific Rim is right below California. So in Asia, all of those places are in Asia. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what has been so like last year when I went to Paris, for the first time. I wasn't even I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't expect anything, but I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed Paris. So
Really?
tell me what country. Yeah, I didn't
I'm
even
not
think
impressed
about
with
it.
Paris at
Huh?
all. I was not impressed with Paris.
What? That's what people say. Either people had no thoughts about it, get there and love it, or people like my daughter wanted to go all her life and finally get there, and she's like,
This is
"This
it.
is it."
Yep. That's what I was like. I was like, oh, okay. We had a good time, but no. Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was I was really taken by it. I really enjoyed it. So what city, did you go in thinking one thing and you came country and you came away thinking something else?
I would probably have to say Thailand. Thailand and Bali.
Okay.
Like, even though they're third world countries,
Uh-uh.
girl,
Listen, they got everything we got and more.
oh my goodness. When I left those, I was like, oh, we coming back.
Yeah,
We
yeah, because
coming back.
they're cheaper too.
Girl, we went to Bali, place to stay, flight for $1,000.
That's what I'm talking about.
People think these trips are so expensive, and they're not.
They're not.
They're third world countries.
Yeah, yeah.
So they tend to be, and then when you get in there, like our money is so much for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I had that same feeling when I went to Kuala Lumpur. I was totally. I could not believe it. I was like, I feel like I was in New York City. Like they had everything. And
Everything.
like you said, they're so underrated. Like all of them are underrated, but they are beautiful places to visit. The people are beautiful as well.
Yeah. I want to go to Singapore. Also, I've heard Singapore is beautiful. Their laws are very strict though. But
Really?
oh my, you're not even allowed to spit on the ground. You will get fined. Yes, ma'am.
Really? Where's Singapore? Where's that at?
Asia.
What part of Asia though?
Girl, now
Is
see.
it?
No, it's in Asia.
I'm trying to, get all these places, since we try to be global, I'm trying to get
girl, I know.
I don't know where that is.
They're on my bucket list too.
Is it south of Shanghai? Like, is it over there?
I don't even think it's near Shanghai.
Is it over there with those islands with Bali and all that?
Yes, yes, it's nearby. Okay. Yep.
Okay, it's over
on that
there.
side. Yes.
And you said Singapore?
Mm-hmm.
I have to look that up. I have to get my little globe out.
Yeah, it's cheap to go there too. Like we were looking at renting a house in Bali. Was it Bali? Thailand. We did. So I try not to stay at a chain when we go to these places and stay at one of their. Girl, our resort was so nice. It was not a chain. It was specific to Thailand. And the people were just so sweet. Yeah. Like, it was just really, really nice.
Yeah. I mean, and like you say, if you don't go, you never know what you're missing out on. Like there's so much life to be lived.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So much life to be lived.
So much life.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm so glad I finally got you. I know you're so busy. I know you got things to do, and but I appreciate you coming on. I always try to tell you this in public. I appreciate everything you were to my daughter, that you still are. You were such an instrumental part of her life in high school because, honey,
girl. Yes. But look at her now. Look at where I am so proud of her. I am so proud of her. Like when she just really found herself and loved herself, it's amazing.
It took a minute, but it took people like you being in her life to help her, because she struggled. She really struggled.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many young girls go through that. And I think for me as a child, I went through that as well. And I didn't have mentors growing up.
But what age did you go through that at?
All of it. Yeah, my child life was not. I don't feel as good now. My parents may not say the same thing, but
Right,
you know, our perception as children is very different than an adult.
Right.
So for me, because I went through so much bullying and having to fight just to have friends, and you know, it was such a learning experience because I was such a follower. Like I didn't know how to lead. I just wanted people to like me.
Right,
Like that was the most important thing, is this person likes me. And I think sometimes I still struggle with that now, to the point where I have to say, Jewel, it doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Right.
So, you know, and I always vowed that I never want another young girl to go through any of this and not have anybody to talk to.
Right.
So
that's good. That's good. Well, you are a blessing, and you always, you know, it's not about going wide, but you always go deep. You make, you know, really great impressions and connections. But I think probably everybody you come in contact with.
well, thank you. I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. And we're gonna close on out.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye bye.